So, how do you like it here in Pardubice?
Excellent, just excellent. It's a hockey country in the Czech Republic, and always makes a Canadian feel good.
Is this your first time in the Czech Republic, or?
No, I've been to Prague several times, but haven't been to Pardubice before. And it's nice to be here and see all the history of players that have come from this area. It's great.
Have you been here in 2004 when we had Ice Hockey World Championship?
Not in Pardubice.
Yeah, but it was in Prague. And
yes, for sure. Yeah, back to '86 even, in those times, so it's good.
So, IIHF is using Czech Republic to host many events in recent era.
Yeah.
And do you trust Czech people to organize good events?
Absolutely, they do a good job, and interestingly, around the world, I think the quality of player coming out of the Czech Republic, given the number of players who play the game, is extraordinary, very special, and we try to learn from that.
You played more than 160 games in the NHL, but did you ever try inline hockey?
Never played inline hockey, no, never did. It wasn't in existence when I was a player. It's something relatively new, but I'm surprised at how well it's coming on.
We all noticed that inline hockey took a great leap forward in last years. Is there something you're still missing in it?
Well, I tell you, technically, the game is getting better all of the time. The surface is much better. The puck is better. The competition itself is becoming very, very keen. From the International Ice Hockey Federation standpoint, it gives us a presence in the Southern Hemisphere. One of the problems our game has is that we operate primarily in the Northern Hemisphere, and it's an entirely opposite season when you go below the equator. Inline gives us a bridge to bring that part of the world into our organization.
Inline is kind of specific because no one would ever imagine Slovenia beating Canada in ice hockey. Is there something special in that?
There is in this respect. I have seen inline games, individual games, friendlies, so to speak, but I haven't seen a competition like this. It's interesting to me to watch how it builds. I think it's a wonderful showcase for individual skills and artistry. The players can really show what they can do. But of course, as the competition goes down toward the medals, it becomes much more intense, like we saw between Sweden and the Czech Republic. And those are great games for the spectators to watch.
Is the base of the teams, of the national teams who want to participate in inline hockey, growing recently?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there are more and more demands for qualification tournaments for more countries to get in, and this is something of great interest to the IIHF. The difficulty is, as the competition becomes better and better, we all get down to wanting to trade on the same skilled players in all of the federations, and they can't do everything, so we have to find a balance there.
Is there some country you could name that, I don't know, surprised you by being in the inline hockey?
Well, the emerging, so-called emerging nations, the South American nations, you know, Brazil, Argentina, some Chile, who is not here at this time, but those are interesting to me, that they have interest in hockey at the inline level and also would like to be interested in the ice hockey if and when they get buildings and surfaces to do that.
What's the future of inline hockey according to you?
That's a big question. It's a big, big question. Many people in ice hockey feel that their plate is already full to try and operate a successful hockey program when you think from the youth hockey through the development stages into the professional levels. They're not anxious to take on more, and yet this inline hockey is finding its way to come. So we either have to get involved or leave it, and I don't think it's going to go away. It's a growing phenomenon. It's going to get bigger all the time, I think.
Inline hockey is real close to ice hockey.
Yes.
But what do you think in future years? Will it get closer to it, or will it separate it all?
I think there has to be a separation in the sense that inline can never become a full body contact game. You can't go down on that surface and slide like you can on the ice. They don't wear the same heavy equipment for protection. So it's better to keep it a non-contact, so to speak, game, but there's still plenty of contact even in a non-contact game. But as you get more and more competitive, the contact seems to come into it a little more, as we saw too. To find the balance is going to be a difficult challenge for inline.
I think that at some point the inline hockey would have to separate from the IIHF. Don't you think so?
Why do you say that? I'll interview you now.
I think that
it's a different game.
That it's a different game, and the organization could be lost in such a huge organization as IIHF is.
Well, I'm not so sure that's the concern. I know that there are coaches in ice hockey who would make the argument that inline hockey is bad for their players because all they do is practice wrong skills to become good team players on the ice. Other coaches would say, no, continuous development of skills and artistry is good when they go back to the ice game. That's a matter of personal opinion for people, and we'll have to work that through. But I think it could work together, but it will never be the same.
As the future of inline hockey goes, you are one of the founding fathers of the Hall of Fame of ice hockey. Don't you want to try to build something like that in inline hockey as well?
You mean a history and a growth in the game? I think it's good because hockey is hockey, and there is much similarity between the two. The danger is coming from ice hockey and making a direct comparison to inline because it is different. And you don't want to bring it closer together, you'd like it to be distinct. The question is, can inline sustain its own following and be successful commercially with its own game, separate from ice hockey? That's what we have to consider.
In many countries, inline hockey is played only by hockey players in the summer who just are preparing for the next season and don't see it as a complete sport. What can inline hockey do to grow its own players?
I think what we have to do in the International Ice Hockey Federation is do a study and consider those areas where ice hockey is not a natural game for the climate they live in, and see if players begin playing in inline, is there a crossover into ice hockey after they get introduced to inline? If we could show that, then it becomes very interesting to us because we need to broaden the base of players playing our game in the world.
What do you like the most about inline hockey?
Well, you know, when I first came here this week, I had seen only individual friendly games. To see it in a full competition is special. In the beginning, it seemed like a recreational friendly game. Then it begins to build, and you see what happened with the Czechs and the Swedish team. Czechs have an older, experienced team, tough, strong. Swedes have much young energy. It made for a good contest, and the fans, the spectators, really liked that. I could see it moving more in that direction. I enjoyed that game very much. It was a good hockey game.
But it was more like it was real close to ice hockey because it was real many contacts in there. There was a fight in there. It's not usual in inline hockey, is it?
It isn't, and it shouldn't be. That's where we're going to have the referees stronger, and the referees did a good job in that game. It's not so easy. Players talk too much to the referees on the surface too. I'd like to see them clean that up. But we have to be careful not to move it too much in that direction. It cannot become a contact game given the equipment they wear and the floor they play on.
Is there some bad stuff that you would like to eliminate from inline hockey to make it grow faster and grow stronger?
I think they're on a pretty good track. The competition is getting better each time. I'm very impressed with the hosting organizations, both here in Pardubice, as very impressive with the city officials from the mayor's office down being involved, the people buying in, the corporate community buying in. They tell me the same is true in Germany, and that possibility is growing to other countries. So this is very encouraging for the future.
One of the best countries in the world for team inline hockey is Spain. Do you see some future in there? I don't know, some championship in Spain. It's not really a traditional country for an IIHF.
I think it would be ideal because even though it isn't a natural ice hockey country, Spain is coming along very well in its ice hockey programs. But if we had an inline championship there, it might attract more players to the inline game and then maybe cross over to the ice game too, so we would benefit on both sides. That's a distinct possibility to have a championship in Spain.
Throughout this interview, I just have the feeling that you don't want those two to separate. You want them to be to complement each other.
Yes, I think you're right in that, although I'm not sure how to do that. Hockey is hockey. But they're two separate brands of hockey. They will have their own brand. But hockey is hockey, and if it's hockey, it should be under the International Ice Hockey Federation, in my view.